Ladies and gentlemen, women, children around the world, it is time for another POS Uncensored, where we come to you to bring you the best information for point-of-sale systems so they're not a complete POS. And we do that in an uncensored way to make sure that you, sales partners around PayProtect Nation, and those who might be considering PayProtect Nation, will understand how the POS pros can help you. And sometimes we talk about a POS. Sometimes we talk about a vertical of companies that are using types of POS. But today, we're just going all in on the process of using the POS pros. And if we're going to talk the POS pros, then we have to bring the man, the myth, the legend, the man who, well, he puts the pro in POS pros and not the S, Mr. Matt Proctor. How are you, Matt? How's life in the other side of Indianapolis? About, what as the crow flies, what are you, 4 miles from me as I sit here in my basement studio here?
Tops, buddy. I love your intros. Love it. Love the enthusiasm. It's all about trusting the process today.
It is. And it's not about Joel Embiid. It's not about the Philadelphia 76ers. It is about the POS pros. So let's start with the first question. Then we're going to do a little role play where I get to put my partner agent hat on and see if I can, create as much havoc in the POS pros process. But let's remind everybody, if this is the first video they've ever watched about POS Uncensored or the POS pros, who are the POS pros and why are they POS pros?
Absolutely. So yes, we are division works with PayProtect and really the entire agent base and family and all ISOs out there. And we started this office up, it's been over 8 years now. And the whole purpose of this office is to help you and help the ISOs and agents with the right point of sale system for their merchants, whether it's restaurant, retail, salon software, you name it, most likely we've got a solution for them. And then being able to handle that entire process from beginning to end and assisting the agent, so the agent doesn't have to be an expert with a point of sale system. Whether it's for a restaurant, we've got 6 different systems. Whether it's for a retail, we've got 4 or 5 others for that. And that's where my team comes in, has been heavily trained and knows all these systems inside and out. We do the consultations, we schedule the demos. Some of them we present personally, others we have our POS company present, but our team is always involved. And then we help with the paperwork as well. And so it's just hand-holding the whole way through to make your life easier. So the only thing you have to worry about is a soft handoff, is talking to those merchants. And if they have a need for point of sale system, hey, great, I have a whole POS department. Is it okay if we get them involved? Things like that. So, and that's what we're going to talk about today in more detail, is how this process works exactly, and then the best ways to move through this process quickly. Because we don't want to slow anything down. We want to help your merchants.
All right. Well, I love it. So let's pretend that I was in Chicago last weekend and I walked across the street from my hotel to a restaurant called Happy Lamb. And Happy Lamb is a hot pot restaurant. Wonderful. Break your kids. Great. About $30 for all you can eat per person. So you got, when you take 4 kids or 5, this time it's only 3 of my kids, only 4 of us. If you're in college, I guess you just don't get the cool things. But we go over and have hot pot. And I happened to talk to the people about their point of sale system. They were actually running a POS system that I'd seen before, but let's say I was able to convince them that they may need to, there may be a better option for you. You may be frustrated. Let's talk about the process, Matt. So Matt, do I call you and say, Matt, I just met the owner at Happy Lamb and I would like you to sell them a POS? Or what is the true process for the first step?
No, don't call me.
All right. All right.
So the first step of the process is to go to POSlead.com. It can't get any easier. And it's mobilized. So I tell agents this all the time. You walk right out of that door, you got the card in hand, you can pull your phone up and go to POSlead.com, or if you're sitting back in your car, and right then you can enter in your information, the business information, and then as many detailed notes as you can. Thank you, Nate. The more notes as possible on the bottom there, that just helps my team. So, hey, they're using Clover, and it looks like 2 stations, maybe kitchen printers. They want online ordering. Maybe they want QR codes. As much information as you can really helps start the process off. Because that way, by the time we receive that lead and the POS specialist has been assigned, they already have in their head pretty much what they're going to talk about and what you might need. And we can tell a lot by what software they're using. Because yes, we sell 9 to 12 different systems, but there are hundreds out there that we know a lot about. And so if I know they're using Focus POS, they most likely aren't going to want to downgrade to an iPad system. They're going to want to stick with something that looks like that, like a Hot Sauce Quick or Mint. So that little part helps us, but that's the first step of the process. We don't even have a phone anymore here. Don't call. If you find a number anywhere, if you call it, it'll have an automated message that says submit a lead to POS Lead or shoot us an email.
Well, and the goal is to make this fast and to scale it for thousands of sales partners across the United States. And so working within the system. So you may eventually, as you've been doing this for a while, become more, we're kind of talking 101, and you may become a POS Pro 401 level player, and you may have some more ideas. So put those in the notes. But no matter whether you're a masters of point of sale, or this is the first point of sale you've ever done, still use POSlead.com. And for myself, I just put that lead in at POSlead.com, and I got a contact back. And let's say, I don't know, who do you want to assign me, Matt? What's about POS specialist for Happy Lamb? It's a sit-down restaurant. They do pay at the table, and they didn't really need to do order to the table but maybe they want to go because I had to fill out a piece of paper and choose which type of broth I want and set what kind of meats. Maybe they wanted to go digital and go that more of a kiosk type thing. Who are you going to assign me to? And then let's talk about what the next process is.
Yeah, and so I assigned Caitlin Caldwell to you, and I do that for a reason, because I have a couple of my reps that know the restaurant industry extremely well. Caitlin came straight from managing a high-end restaurant and a hotel, so I want to pair you with someone from my team that has that experience in that restaurant realm that you're looking at right there. So what happens when Caitlin receives the lead, she has to call you within 24 hours no matter what. Now, that being said, I know Caitlin, she's going to get you a call today, period. Right now, it's 2:28 p.m. here, Eastern time.
Let's not push that 24. This is a weekday business day, 24 hours.
Correct. Weekday business day. You submit a lead at midnight on a Saturday, you're getting a call on Monday. Okay, this is a regular business hours. If you submit it at nighttime, 7 or 8 at night, you're getting a call the next morning. But if a lead does come through right now at 2:30 in the afternoon, I'd say there's probably 90% chance you're getting a call in the next 3 or 4 hours. Unless the person that's assigned to you just happens to have, hours of demos. Even then, my team will usually communicate to you and schedule a time maybe to speak on Monday. So the communication starts right away.
So let's take this. Let me be.
I'm sorry, Nate. One more thing.
Okay.
We're never reaching out. I want to make sure everyone's clear on this. We're never reaching out to the merchant without talking to you. Okay, this is your merchant. And even if you put in there, Nate puts in those notes, please call Enrique, by 4 o'clock today. That's great. My team is still going to call you first to let you know, hey, we got your lead. Anything else you want to tell me before this call with Enrique?
Well, and let me throw it in, we'll kind of go back and forth on this. If they have, let's say I went to Happy Lamb. This didn't happen because highly recommend this restaurant. You can tell I love this restaurant. I want to go back. Man, if I could go there this afternoon.
All about Chinatown, Chicago.
Yeah. But if Happy Lamb, if their whole POS just blew up on them, like literally it's not working that day and it's emergency, what are the things you can do to help speed up the process? Because there are times like Happy Lamb, my guess is that place, I don't know this for sure, but I'm going to guess they're doing $500,000 a month. And if you get a foot in the door because they're having a real issue, we want to help you as partners. So I'm going to say, number one, as PaperTech as a whole, the POS Pros is serving thousands of partners. Your relationship manager is serving a smaller section of that and has more time. So I would start including your relationship manager, start thinking about problem solving, especially if there are merchant, like if they can't accept payments right now, they can't, all their cards are off and they're going through and they're going to switch to someone, whoever's fastest. Well, we can probably get a Pay Anywhere or something there fast and then
right away.
But what are some things that, how do we help? Because we don't want I do not cry wolf, partners. Don't use this if it not happen. But if it does sometimes happen that there are what are things you can do to help speed it up? I would say the first thing probably is put it in the notes. What else can they do to help speed along the process, knowing that this merchant is in trouble?
Yes. And this comes across every month or so, Nate, we get one of these. So yes, put in the notes right away is critical, saying urgent, their entire system just went down, something like that.
Yeah.
And then first and foremost,
if you do this one time wrong, we will not listen to you again.
Right.
Is an urgency. Don't cry wolf. Okay, back to you, Matt. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and yes, we have certain offices that try to do that with everything. And now they understand the process, after trial and error. But if that is the case, we're going to say the same thing you just said, Nate. Get them a credit card set up right now. Like just overnight it, ship it, throw it to them, whatever. Get them a way to take payments. So that way you've already got the account locked. And then let's schedule a demo right now. When can they do the demo? Is it tomorrow, the next day? As soon as we can get that done, because we at least need to show them the software and make sure it does everything they want. And we can always expedite shipping. There's ways we can help on our end. And some of that depends on which system. But I don't have any problem if I need to pay for expedited shipping, move it along faster in the process. Let our POS teams know, okay, hey, Ming, the owner of Quick, they need to be up and going within the next 10 days. So immediately, let's get this order placed, schedule the menu review, all that. However, the speed, and I can't say this enough to agents, the speed still depends on the owner. We can tell Ming and her team all day long that this is a one that we need to go really, really fast through the process. But if they keep calling the owner and emailing and texting the owner and never getting a response, it's going to slow everything back down. And that's with any of our systems. So they have to speak with the owner to confirm and schedule all these. And most of the time, the owner's ready. I mean, they're ready. They need to talk to anybody. But sometimes they say it's a super fast process, and then the owner just slows everything down. And so the agent gets confused and angry and like, I thought you needed this, or yelling at us. And it's like they can't get a hold of the owner. There's nothing we can do. So just keep that in mind, too, in the fast process.
Let's go back to a regular process, how it really should work 99.9% of the time. And we want to help you with those emergencies. And let me give you one other tip. And I don't often think about this and remind. That's why if I was a sales partner working the street day to day, well, I guess I have that, but I would have some equipment that I keep on stock that I probably am going to have to invest some funds into. Have a Pay Anywhere smart terminal. Maybe you want to go Valor, maybe you want to go Deja Vu, where you have a couple of those where we can help get that equipment up and running really, really quickly, just to triage those things. And in the beautiful world of Pay Anywhere now, if we can get some approvals done quickly, working with our relations manager, or maybe they're an instant approval because they have all the things line up on those things. then, you can get up and running on an iPhone or an Android phone and use tap to pay pretty quickly and be doing, get things going really fast. We
Yep.
can help with that, some stuff, thinking and working through that. But that's just, let's go back to our side. I'm at Happy Lamb. They're thinking about making a change. I've had a phone call with Caitlin. What's the next thing that's going to happen most likely after the partner, myself, talks to Caitlin? What's the regular process? Remember, we're trusting the process after that
Yep.
consultation call with the partner. What's the next step, Matt?
So now Caitlin will have to confirm from you if it's okay to reach out to the owner. She's going to need to do a full consultation with the owner. Not that she doesn't trust you, but the owner might have something else that comes up that he never mentioned to you, about, oh yeah, and I want to be able to text people when their food's ready, or I want to have RMS software included in the POS for reservation management. So no matter what, we still need to speak with that owner. So Caitlin will discuss that with you. Is it okay if I reach out, or would you like to go through and reach out and schedule something? Kind of talk through that process. If it's your first time ever doing it, then yes, we want Caitlin to reach out to that owner. She could do that also on a three-way call, so the agent can hear that as well. On that call, once she confirms every little detail they want, then she's going to know which system, and she's going to set up a Mint demo or Quick or Hot Sauce, whatever it might be. And she'll do that right there with the owner on the phone. She'll have her calendar pulled up. Let's say Mint, for example, because they want that reservation management. She'll have the Mint calendar pulled up, and she'll coordinate that with the owner. Agent will always be included, even if they're not on the phone or they don't want to be that involved. They'll be included on the demo invite, just so they at least know it's happening. And we highly recommend that you join the demo. Anyway, the more you learn, the better and easier it'll be for you to sell in the future. But we have some agents that don't want to be involved, so you don't have to be on there. So basically a second consultation after we tell the agent we have the lead, then we need to speak with the owner. So, and sorry, Nate, I should specify. We do that for a reason. We don't want to waste the owner's time. Definitely don't want to waste my team's time. And if we allow just the agent to schedule a demo because maybe they saw a bunch of information on Hot Sauce and they like the promotion on it and they think Hot Sauce would be a great fit, and then we get them into a demo because my team said, okay, and we just schedule it for you, and we find out that they need 2 or 3 features that Hot Sauce can't do at all. Now we've just wasted everyone's time, and we have to schedule another demo for one of our other systems where we should have looked at from the beginning. Okay. And so, we've learned, through trial and error, that we really need to do that consultation to make sure we're looking at the right system. So trust my staff, please.
Yep. Trust the process, trust the POS pros. And then as we, continue going down this, now we've got a demo scheduled, and we're doing, in this case, we're going to go Mint. Reservations are really important. And that Mint schedule, what are things we should be doing to make sure to help prepare for that demo and make that demo go as well as possible? Are the things that the partner that I can be doing as an agent to be able to help make sure that demo goes well, Matt?
Yeah, the number one thing is reminders. Our team is sending out reminders, but you as an agent can really help with that too. For example, I personally have a Mint demo that I set up for a New York deli, a C-store and deli in New York, where I had a long conversation and consultation with the owner. We know Mint is where we're wanting to go. He's got kind of this hybrid model, and he's also seen Mint before in action. I was like, great, let's get you on a demo with me and with one of my Mint experts. Schedule a demo for today at 4:00, and then I send him reminders. Okay. Him and I had already been texting, so in that case, I can send him a text reminder. Hey, don't forget, let me know, Jay, if anything comes up this afternoon, we need to reschedule. So if the agent can help us with that, we want to make sure we confirm and don't have a no-show. Okay? The higher the show rate, obviously the higher close rate you're going to get. Making sure they have something other than their phone. When I scheduled my Mint demo today, I confirmed with him. He's got his laptop. Make sure you get, tablet, laptop, something with a bigger screen. They join the phone, it's a giant waste of time. They can't see anything. It's too small, shaky. We want to make sure you're set up for success, and so are they.
Yeah, and
so that's really.
And if you need to, and because let's be honest, when you're working with all kinds of different people running all kinds of different businesses, sometimes I use my phone for everything, and then say, hey, I'm going to come to that meeting. make the best experience. Don't let it happen on a phone. A lot of people do everything from the phone, I understand. But when you're looking at how a demo works on a point of sale system, that no matter whether you have the max largest screen on a phone, it's still not big enough. It doesn't work. Try to make and create that best experience. And Matt, what happens? We know the S hits the fan sometimes, as they say, as we're here on POS Uncensored. And sometimes that hits the fan and we need to reschedule. Let's talk about best practices. Let's say, restaurant owners are notorious for, scheduling multiple times or having a schedule, or something happens or someone doesn't show up, so they don't have the help they need to have to be able to support and be able to take a few minutes off and watch that. How do you help manage that when you need to reschedule that demo, when this is that step we need to get through to get to the sale?
Yeah, and it can be frustrating, for me and my team. So if they no show a demo, and it does happen more with restaurants than retail, hands down. And my team knows that. We know that we're not really scheduling a restaurant demo, in the middle of their lunch rush. We're only calling them in between lunch and dinner and things like that. Most restaurant owners don't schedule anything on Friday afternoon, and if they do, it's a no show usually. So we will always work to reschedule. We'll send out to the agent again and or the owner, if they want, an email with all the next available times so they can let us know, get it back on the schedule. If they no show a second time, and now we're down to the final straw, because I won't let my team do more than 3. Okay, so we'll schedule again. We'll schedule up to that third demo. If they no show the third demo, then we're done. Okay, we'll let the agent know we're not going to schedule a demo. The only way we'll do it is if you, the agent, are there on site with them and you have the computer pulled up right in front of them and make their butt sit down. And it's happened before. We've sold deals where it was on a 4th time finally getting them, because the agent was then frustrated. It was like, I will get them on. And that's very rare. It's very rare. Normally it's only one no-show, maybe a second.
So I just had this weird picture in my mind that one of our partners goes all in and buys one of those Sprinter vans and decks it out with a 50-inch TV in the back and setting up to be able to connect to the internet and just have a demo van driving. Hey, get in here. My picture in my head was actually Philip Rivers, when he was with the Chargers. He had a long commute because he lived in San Diego and they'd moved to LA, and he hired a person to drive him back so he could sit in the back of a Sprinter van and watch game tape. And I was just thinking, if you do this,
I did not know that.
I'm going to help you with the money, but I'll help you put all the system together, because I love the idea. A little demo van going through the streets of Chicago and New York, pulling up to the restaurant and say, come on out, get in our van. We're going to show you the demo of your new POS. Okay, moving on. After the demo, that's me being a complete idiot. Moving on to the demo has happened. What's going to be said at the end of the demo, and what's the next step? How are we handling this? As obviously there is the next step is them making a decision, or maybe looking at another thing. What are the steps that may happen at the end of the demo and the decision-making process as it moves forward, as we trust the process?
Absolutely. Great question. So my team, it's all about setting expectations. That's something I drilled in their head, and they're great about it. So at the end of the demo, that's what we're doing. We're talking about wiring. We're talking about all the hardware that's needed, because the whole time my team's taking notes, because they're going to be putting together the paperwork and the quotes. We will not talk about pricing at all. We don't want to talk about pricing right there with the merchant, because maybe we don't know yet what their volume is, because you haven't sent us a credit card statement. Maybe we can give them credits towards the hardware. Okay, so the only thing we will mention if they ask pricing is the licensing. Okay, we can't change the monthly licensing. That's mandated by our POS companies. It's the hardware that we can help with. So after the demo, we're talking about next steps. We're talking about the time frame with them, of how fast everything can go. When you're ready, we need a green light, we'll send a DocuSign. So after the demo's done, my team will put together the quote. Like I said, hopefully we've already got a statement. We know if they're doing cash discount or edge. We know what their volume is, so my team knows how much credits they can get towards the hardware. We send that to the agent. Not going to send it to the owner unless the agent requests us to. Most of the time, they want to present it. So we send it over to the agent, let them know if you have any questions, and then they come back and give us a thumbs up, green light. They signed off on it, they're ready to go. We send all the paperwork then in a DocuSign, always with the agent CC'd, so the agent sees the DocuSign go out, they can see when it gets signed. If the agent wants to pay, which we have a lot of agents that want to do it, they'll say, hey, I'll pay for the shipping. They're paying for the monthly. Then we send 2 DocuSigns. and they'll see both. One goes to the merchant, and they're just CC'd to sign for the monthly. Then we send one to just the agent so that they can sign saying that they're paying for the upfront shipping. And that's very common too. So we can do it either way, whichever way you prefer as the agent. Once that is received, then we're ready to proceed with the order. There are some things we need in place, and this is huge to already have these. We need an approved MID. We can't order any system without an approved MID. So that's kind of common knowledge. If you know they're going to sign up and we're sending a DocuSign, get the paperwork done. Just do it right then. Send them your link or whatever it is. Hey, we need to get this completed to be able to order the POS. If it's any type of food and beverage or restaurant, we need a menu. Go ahead and get that while you're there. You could be there eating lunch. Grab a takeout menu. Take a picture of the menu. Somehow, because you'd be surprised at how many deals we have that get slowed down because we're just waiting on a menu. And that's like the easiest things to get. So with our restaurant softwares, we have to submit a menu when we place the order. So MID, menu, we do all the paperwork. Only thing you have, as the agent, have to do is set up that MID. And in the little equipment box, all you do is check the software. Okay, this is EPX hot sauce, EPX mint, EPX quick, whatever it is. We order the physical terminals for you. So that would be the next step.
Let's talk just about it. Like are going through the hiccups that can happen in this little portion of the process. They get the pricing and they start negotiating, or I can't afford that, or they maybe, I'm going to imagine this happens. The owner suddenly comes up, or operator comes up with something else they want their POS to do, and the one they've already seen the demo of doesn't do it. What are some of the little curveballs that can happen in this little place from the first demo? Often the only demo, I mean, maybe you can tell us, I don't know what the percentage is, how many people only see one demo. I'm going to assume it's pretty high. And getting that final paperwork and the order in that process. What are some of the curveballs that can happen in there?
Oh, there's so many curveballs.
You're right. The process, but the process ain't perfect. Trust it though.
Right. So sometimes it's hardware. Hey, now they want to caller ID, or we just had one where it was a sold deal and they have everything and they're like, this doesn't look like what I thought I was going to get from Paradise. So now we're having to reorder them a different stand and brackets, and they're going to use their own iPad now for customer display, which was never mentioned in the demo. There's going to be those kind of hiccups. You'd be surprised, Nate. More recently, we have had two demos for merchants. I still say percentage is probably 9 out of 10, or we're only going to have one demo of the right system for them. But every once in a while, based on just basic features they need, we got a couple systems that could really be the best fit, and they want to look at options. They want to look at both of them. We try not to do that just because, once again, it can slow things down. It can waste more of my team's time as they're getting bombarded with other, agents and other demos they need to schedule. But it does happen. If we need to look at a second, we obviously will. Same thing if we happen to be looking at the wrong system, we find out halfway into the demo that this is really not what they need, then we'll stop right then and move over and schedule, the next demo. So that stuff does happen. It's a pain. We have to do new paperwork. So, so if we do have a DocuSign out there that comes back signed, and then they say, oh, I want you to change the shipping address, we got to send out a new DocuSign. Oh, we want to add this or remove this kitchen printer, we got to send out an updated DocuSign. So those kind of things can slow things down. That's why on the end of the demo, we want to confirm every little thing they would need. Make sure it's correct. Is this the correct shipping address? Or you send it there, you want to go to your house or whatever, because that can just slow things down.
But at the end of the day, 90% of them are going to go through the process pretty, with very few hiccups. The 10% don't. They're still may be worth the actual work that it takes. And that's why you're doing this multiple times, and you're working and you're helping this process move smoother and smoother. And we're to the place. They have a signed contract. They have a MID that's up and running and ready to start processing payments. And they have the order coming to them. And the Mint hardware is coming to the Happy Lamb. If you've stayed this long through it, the Happy Lamb is about to start using Mint, maybe? What's the next step? What's the next step? They're not going to use it right away. How do we make sure that the onboarding and the launch protocol is followed as we trust the process?
Yep. So first you're going to get them, quickly just some Pay Anywhere hardware so they can, start taking payments. Yep. But then on their account, you're also going to get You're also going to, in the drop down box for hardware, you're going to choose EPX and Mint POS, because we're going to set up that process, send the DocuSign out. Their volume's so high that they get discount on all their hardware. The only thing up front maybe is a couple $100 for shipping. Hey, maybe you want to take care of that, Nate. So we sent out 2 DocuSigns. They sign theirs right away because they're ready to get going. You sign yours right away. We shoot you a quick invoice for a couple $100. You pay it. All right. We escalate the process with Mint. So the Mint hardware, we order it, it drop ships next day, which is great. Mint's a great system for speed. All right. And then we let the entire Mint support team, please send the survey right away, reach out right away. We let them know on the demo that, hey, Mint sends this survey to ask about your taxes and hours of operation, all this basic stuff. The moment you get that, fill it out right away. So Mint has it, and then they'll be reaching out to schedule a menu review. So we're kind of setting them up for success, telling them the next process, because we can get them up and going very quickly with Mint because of how soon they'll have the hardware. And then my team, Mallory, myself, Morgan, whoever's placing that order, we're also ordering the EMV chip readers to go to every station. And if it's a speed thing like that, we're ordering them overnighted. So they're getting those at the same time as they're getting the actual hardware. Then they'll be off and running.
And we're off and running. The hardware's arrived. Everything's getting set up. Maybe, in the rare case, someone's, something, I wouldn't be, a larger restaurant, there may be somebody showing up for installation, but usually it's a self-installation.
Yeah, pretty easy, plug and play.
The time, something like that, and you're working through that. How do we make sure they get using that system, that hardware, and what are the keys to trusting the process and going through the training process of making sure that the restaurant, the retail, whatever it is that's using the POS, knows how to use this POS to be most successful?
Well, and that's something that it's really on my team to stress the heck out of it, because we are at the mercy of the POS company. We're not the tech support that can log into their system. So we're at the mercy of Mint and Hot Sauce and Quick. So all we could do is stress that process with them, that let's say Diana is their person, which Diana's phenomenal with Mint. She handles a lot of our accounts. She's very hands-on with our merchants. So let's say it is Diana. You need to speak with Diana as many times as you can. Schedule out training this day, menu review this day, another training this day with the GM. She'll remote into the system. She'll be on the phone with them. Let's make sure she can walk you through how to close out for the day, how to adjust tips, how to add a button. So that's what we do on our end, is just stressing, just beating it and drilling it into their head. Because if they don't answer Diana's phone call or they don't speak to anyone at Mint, it's going to slow everything down. Then they're going to yell at you. They're going to yell at us and say, we haven't heard from anybody, even though we know they're reaching out. So yes, there is some trust, involved, but that's the benefit of having us as that middleman and that third party. If for some reason maybe Mint didn't, maybe they missed it and it kind of fell through the cracks, and Mint, then you get us involved immediately. I'll go straight to the owner and all the higher ups of Mint and get on it right away. Okay? There's a reason that we have these close partnerships, because we're friends with all these owners and vice presidents of all these companies. If I need to go to them, I will. Okay? And I only bother them if I really need them to step in and get something going, but I absolutely will for you.
Yeah. And the process, we've gone from hopefully an experience like I had, where you started with a wonderful meal that turned into a relationship with a great business. But you started from not knowing someone to knowing someone to introducing the POS pros, filling it up POSlead.com, making sure that you do the consultation with your POS specialist, then making sure they show up to their demo, and the demo turned into a great offer, and an offer turned into a great contract being signed, and that contract turned into equipment showing up, and they've gone the training and they're launched. What else should we do to make sure this process is successful, and that 6 months, a year, and 5 years from now, that merchant is still processing with me, or me with the hat, Mr. Agent hat on? How do I make sure that the process continues to succeed, and make sure it's not just getting up and running that first transaction, it's the millionth transaction that I want?
Yep. And that's a great thing about point of sale system. Some people still don't want to mess with them because maybe they don't like this process. Or they think this is too long. I'd rather just go hand out terminals, and that's fine. But I can tell you, all of the ISOs and agents that I've been working with for years that trust this process, they know the process, are much happier because of it. They've got merchants that have been with them for the last 5 to 7 years using one of our systems. We've switched them. I've got multiple different companies. They're on our second or third POS system. because maybe they started with Paradise and then they're like, you got a bigger screen or something that, sure. And then we move them over to Mint or we move them to Quip. That's where I get involved. Any retention, we want to keep your merchants happy. We want to keep the process and want to keep that money coming in. I just had a Corona demo where they're already signed up with us, a retail cloud, but there were some issues with inventory and some support and things like that. Well, of course, we don't want to let them go anywhere. So I get involved. I talk to the owner. I tell them everything about Corona, which is one of our newest partners, and how user friendly it is, and the great support, and the monthly is a little lower. Boom, let's schedule a demo, Jeff. So then Jeff and I jump in with Corona and their whole team. Boom, they love everything. We get them set up with a demo account with Corona so they can get in and start playing with it. And then we retain that merchant. That's what I do the majority of the time. I don't even let my staff worry about it. Okay, so the ROI that you have, your return on investment with POS is just ridiculous compared to hand out any terminal. And that's where this process comes in handy. And Nate, just a couple examples. We've been sitting here and I've watched some stuff come in. I see Tim has a Growzilla demo on Monday. This is a lead that just came in yesterday. It means Tim called him right away. They talked to him about Growzilla, the need for scheduling for a salon, and boom, he schedules out the demo time, sends out to the owners. Speaking of two demos, Carrie has one on Monday as well, where this agent put in the lead, and they're looking at Paradise at 2:30, and then an hour and a half later, they've got a Mint demo for the exact same merchant. So I don't know what happened in that consultation or how that came up. I know this agent though, and I know she's very familiar with Paradise. So maybe that's why she wants to look at Paradise, but it's a pizza place. It's not Paradise's forte. And so that's probably where they're looking at Mint, because Carrie was probably expressing like, yes, we could look at Paradise, but it's not really the best, for pizza, either Mint or hot sauce, or, one of these would. So I can see kind of how her mind works just because I know her so well, but she does have two demos. So it's that fast. As I'm seeing these leads come in and we're assigning them, within 24 or 48 hours, I'm seeing, boom, things popping up on the calendar. They've already done the consultation. Now demos are scheduled. So I keep an eye on all of that.
Love it. It's about trusting the process. Ladies and gentlemen of PayProTech Nation, of those who are going to join the PayProTech Nation, trust the process of the POS pros. And then eventually you may take some of those pieces. You're still going to go to POSlead.com, but maybe, there are some of our people that have done their own demos and they get so involved. But the beauty of this is, no matter your involvement, no matter your experience, how long you've been selling in merchant services, whether it's your first or 1 millionth day, the POS Pros is here, and you can trust the process to help you start from acquaintance and starting to meet the merchant all the way to getting that merchants to their millionth transaction. And that is our goal. What have I forgotten to ask in this time today as we talk about trusting the POS Pros? Anything?
I don't know if you've really forgot anything. I mean, I'll tell you this, guys, the process only gets easier. Once you get used to it, you do your first one or two, it just gets so much easier because we keep you the same person. Okay, so you're working with Caitlin or Alex or Carrie or whoever it might be, and you just love them. Okay, like we have most of our agents request there's certain specialists, but we want to keep you with them as well, so you can feel comfortable telling your owners, "Hey, I've got a partner. His name's Alex. He's my POS specialist. Can we get Alex involved so we can, kind of see which of our systems we best?" And that's just to help you guys. I don't want you to feel that every time you submit a lead, who knows who's going to call you. I want to keep you with that expert so that they're your own person. Please request them if you know you've worked with someone before, and Tim is your guy. You love Tim. Put it in the notes. Okay? Please give this pass to Tim. Okay? And that's just a good reminder for my team that's the management side handing out these leads. But yeah, I mean, that's all I can say is, trust the process at least the first time, because it's only going to get easier after that. And we've got a lot of new agents that have been submitting leads, which is great to see. So hopefully we're going to make them lifelong point of sale partners.
We love it. All right. On behalf of Matt Proctor, you've just spent about 36 of your great minutes, if you've made it all the way to the end of your life, with a guru of point of sale, a man who takes care of merchants across the United States. Heck, he would go out of the United States if he could. But we process here. That's how the world works. But
I tried to get one in Montreal, but I can't, so I'm like.
But we're always here. We're here to help you trust the process and the POS pros, and here to make sure that when you sell a POS, it's not a complete POS. That's what we do here on POS Uncensored. Make sure you like, subscribe, continue to be on our YouTube channel, and thank you so much for watching, listening, and engaging. We'll see you next time on POS Uncensored. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.